Welcome to another video. This is yours truly. Before I start, um, I just heard about this in the news. Well, I already heard about it. And I think it's still relevant, but I heard about a teacher in France who was beheaded by an 18-year-old Muslim student, and the 18-year-old Muslim student beheaded this teacher because the teacher showed a political Muslim cartoon to the students, and for some reason he didn't like it. The 18-year-old Muslim student didn't like it and just beheaded the teacher, meaning got his head cut off. And France is completely shocked at this. And I think after the teenager, the 18-year-old Muslim kid, after he it was a boy, after he beheaded the teacher, he was shot and killed by police. Yeah, so he's dead. And I heard that French President Emmanuel Macron and his government are going to be tough on Islamic extremists. So yeah, let me go back. I think the 18-year-old who beheaded the teacher was Islamic. So that was horrible what happened to that teacher. Um, it's terrible, and all I can say is that 18-year-old got what he deserved. Because he was a threat. He ran around like beheaded a school teacher, a 40-something-year-old school teacher, been beheaded by an 18-year-old. That's terrible. So yeah, this video is gonna go there. I don't want to just talk about America, Canada, and Texas, a state here in the U.S. that I currently live in. I just don't want to talk about like what goes on here and what my experience is here and how people are here. I'm gonna close that door and I'm gonna head overseas to Europe. Okay, Europe. Yeah, I'm in Europe, and there's a lot of countries on that continent. Europe shares the same landmass as Asia, and both of these continents together, Europe and Asia, make up Eurasia. And you have the Ural Mountains, and somewhere in Russia that is the boundary between the two continents. Um, and, yeah, there's a lot of countries in Europe, and I'm gonna talk about two countries in Europe, and they are the United Kingdom and France. Okay, the UK is a country that's made up of a lot of countries. England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And okay, I'm gonna compare. I'm gonna talk. Read some. I'm gonna talk about both the UK and France. People in these countries. Okay. the people in the UK, this is stereotypical. They are known as drunken hooligans, stuck up, and they're called roast beef by the French. Simply means it's just a term. Roast beef is a term to describe the red coat military from a long time ago. They wore red coats, and it also describes British people who turn red when they get too much sun. I mean, I guess that's the white people. And, oh wait, okay. Then you have the French people. The French people are known as they, and here's a list of how they are. They are rude, negative, overly confident, questionable hygiene, judgmental, snobby, well dressed. They have a superiority complex where they think they are better than you. They never smile. They complain about everything. They love cheese. They smell bad, which is connected to questionable hygiene. In Paris, the Eiffel Tower, there's a lot of imagery around the lover, the French lover. Okay, in both countries, the United Kingdom and France, and have citizens from each country living in each other's countries. There are 300,000 French citizens who live in Great Britain, and there are 150,000 British citizens who live in France. Okay, let me read this again. 300,000 French citizens live in Great Britain, and 150,000 British citizens live in France. Okay, in France, I think Americans love the French because of their wine, cheese, delicious baguettes, French art, culture, and fashion. Okay, healthcare. Both countries, the United Kingdom and France, both have universal health care. Here's a comment that I received from a British person. They're going to remain anonymous. I'm not going to say their name. And here's what they told me about the NHS, the National Health Service. The NHS isn't perfect by any means. I'm British, but we all pay in what we can afford. A payroll tax of 7.5% for everything you earn over £4,500 a year, matched by your employer. This also funds pensions, and unemployment benefits, and we get the treatment we need. Waiting times for elective surgery are long, and you can get the most advanced drugs. However, no one is denied treatment of poverty. Britain is not a socialist state. It is the nation that invented modern capitalism, and yet 80% of the population supports the NHS. It appears it appeals to the British sense of fair play. People don't choose to be ill. It is therefore manifestly unfair to withhold treatment on the basis of income. Employers like it as well because it takes all the responsibility for providing health care away from them. Okay, here's the healthcare system of France. When it comes to healthcare, the French are extremely proud of their system, and we have every reason to be. It is high quality, accessible, and affordable. The French healthcare system is ranked the best in the world. The critics say the system is hemorrhaging money, so who pays for it, or what's its long-term prognosis? The French love to complain, but one thing that will always stick up for is the French healthcare system. That is because France ranks among the best in the world when it comes to the general health of the population. The infant mortality rate is 4 per 1,000 births, and the life expectancy is 79 for men and 85 for women. The infant mortality rate is very low, and the life expectancy is pretty high. Getting affordable and quality health care is not something French people worry about. They know there will be a safety net for them no matter what. In France, health insurance is mandatory and universal, which covers all legal residents. Almost everyone has a healthcare card called the Vitale. The Vitale is a healthcare card, or half French ID card, that is the symbol of the French healthcare system. What you do is to show up at your point of care, and you swipe the card, and it contains all the details for your rights to treatment and refunds, which are generous and wide-ranging. Okay, France's health insurance system is part of the broad social protection program called Sûreté Sociale, or Social Security in French, which also covers things like pension and family subsidies. Solidarity is a crucial part of the system. The government refunds 70% of most healthcare costs and 100% of fees for serious or chronic illness like cancer and AIDS. In other words, the sicker the person is, the less they pay. So who fits the bill? Well, largely the public. More than 40% of healthcare spending is financed by payroll taxes. A third comes from income taxes, which is relatively high in France, and the rest of taxes on tobacco, alcohol, and soda. Also, the pharmaceutical industry and a small amount of state subsidies. Everyone pays into the system, but people get a lot out of it. Patients have total choice where they go for care or who they see. In other words, there is no gatekeepers, and the French health insurance covers a lot. Inpatient, outpatient care, house calls, specialists, prescription drugs, mental health, maternity care, and even some form of alternate medicine like acupuncture. The French love their health care. One thing you often hear abroad about French health care that it is 100% socialized. But that's wrong. For instance, a majority of French doctors are self-employed. And about a third of French hospitals are for-profit. The French healthcare system is a public/private hybrid, and that's good for patients. About 90% of French people opt for supplementary private medical insurance. This covers things that aren't fully covered by the state. For instance, when you get eyeglasses or when you go to the dentist. But the truth of the matter is, French healthcare just isn't as expensive as it is in other countries to begin with. That's because the government participates in setting what it considers fair prices for appointments, procedures, and drugs. And the government has a lot of bargaining power to keep prices low. For example, the cost of an average visit to a general practitioner is just 25 euros. Well, that means French doctors tend to earn less money than, say, their American counterparts. About a third less. But medical school is partially free in France, and they don't have to pay for malpractice insurance, so it evens up. Now some specialists like a gynecologist, for example, might charge more, say about 100 euros a visit, but you'll never see the dizzying prices you might see in the United States or in other countries. Also, there's some more about the French people. The French people have a secret love for the British royal family in the UK. They won't openly admit it. On the outside, they will make fun of how backwards it is. Okay, that's what Britain and France are all about. I remember a while back, somebody told me in a comment that I commenting on a video on a YouTube channel that was owned by a Russian by the name of Igor the Russian, and he talked about how America is, and I left a comment and talked about that how America is so bad, and Britain and France are better than the U.S. And I don't remember what I said. This is before I started uploading videos on this account. I mean, I had no videos on this account when I posted this comment, and someone from the UK sent me this comment to me and said this: "Have you been living under a rock? England and France are overrun by Muslims." Really, yeah, I'm gonna say this, and by the way, I'm doing this video at a park at night. I'm standing under a street light. There's no one here but me. There's no one here but me. I'm gonna say this. I went to the United Kingdom. Well, I went to both the UK and France. In the United Kingdom, I didn't see that much. I went through Heathrow Airport, and I encountered a police officer, and I asked the police officer where the buses were at. He turned around. He didn't say anything. He just turned around and just walked away, ignoring me. So that was kind of rude. And someone who was in the baggage claim area near the baggage claim mumbled. Mumbled. I think to my mom and my sister, saying this when they asked him where have we been checked, and where's the buses at, and there was a guy. He said this. So yeah, and I was thanked heavenly by this British immigration officer when I filled out this UK landing card. It's a UK landing card. That you get and you fill out, and you turn in to the British immigration officer. You supposed to show that when it's filled out along with your passport. But the UK landing card's been scrapped, so they're no more. So I filled it out, and the British immigration officer said this to me: "Richard, congratulations, you put down American. Rich is the only one who got it right." Yeah. Some of the people there were friendly. Some of them were rude. I mean, I haven't been all over the country, and in France, I ran into a friendly woman who was giving out bus tickets to everybody. And she said something to me, and I don't remember what she said. It was French. She was a typical French woman, and she was really nice. This was in a city called Le Havre, France. Le Havre is a city in northwestern France, and me and this bald-headed guy who had tattoos saw a homeless guy walking by. We were both standing at this hamburger stand, and the bald-headed guy with tattoos told me in a hand gesture that the guy was crazy because the homeless guy walked by saying something in French. He was basically talking to himself. So yeah, he was a wacko. It was funny. I think I said this in a previous video. Yeah, I was gonna say this. Yeah, both of these countries, they have their problems. They're not perfect, but they're not as bad as the U.S. and they're not bad countries at all. I mean, I understand that the history between Britain and France. I mean, they hate each other for a long. They used to hate each other, and they had a rivalry. Yeah, and I have some Brits telling me that in the UK, the United Kingdom has a shitty quality of life, and you're not gonna like it there. And a lot of Americans don't move there. And someone told me to watch a video that on YouTube from Paul Watson titled "London is a shithole." Yeah, I saw and heard some things about Britain or London. This is London in the UK, the largest city in there, like the capital. Talked about There's a high knife crime of stabbings, pickpocketing. Buses are turned into mobile exercising gyms on wheel, and sludge is being dumped into the River Thames, and a lot of crime, and it's deemed a shithole. And I watched a video about Paris in France, where boy, Paris is a dirty city, and it has urine-soaked streets because men pee all over the place, and people throw their trash on the side of on the sidewalk, and people letting their dogs poop all over the place, and people are treating the city like trash. And people in Paris, Parisians, say that when tourists come here, they laugh at us. And another Parisian said this. You have this idea that Paris is a beautiful city, it's a city of love, and you build it up in your head, and when you get there, it's not what you thought it would be. And people, and I think the authorities are putting out fines for people urinating, letting their dogs poop all over the place on sidewalks, and people throwing their trash all over the place. And it's kind of comical. And one Parisian said this: France has enough fines and laws as it is. You can't stop people from throwing their trash and all over the place. You just can't stop them. And I heard that a long time ago in the 1990s, they had France or Paris, just Paris, had people riding around on motorbikes, cleaning up sidewalks and places in Paris, and they all disappeared somewhere in the 90s. No, they were in the 80s, and they disappeared in the 90s. So yeah, and also the Yellow Vest protesters went and destroyed Paris, and that scared Emmanuel Macron, and that led him to going on live TV and saying that he's gonna raise the minimum wage to 1,000 euros, and the French people didn't like it. And there's one good thing about the French. I mean, if you're the government, if you screw them, take away their health care, or screw their retirement pension or whatever, they'll come out and protest hard. And in France, the government is afraid of the people. Yeah, the government is afraid of the people. And that's just amazing. I mean, here in America, the people are afraid of the government. And it's just a culture shock to me, and it is. So yeah, I'm gonna hear a lot of stuff about the UK from Brits. I mean, I'm not going to hear anything from the French, because I heard this and I assumed that I heard one French person say that they don't have time to be on the internet all the time. Maybe it's the fact that the majority of them, like a lot of them, speak French, and just a few of them speak English. A few of them speak English and a few of them speak English and French, and a lot of them, the citizens, the native ones, speak French, and you got people who are from Britain speak French as well. Yeah, I also heard that Um, the editor of chief of Vogue magazine, Anna Winetour, whatever her name is. She is known for having the Page Boy Bob haircut. She had this. She retained this for years, and I heard from people, from celebrities like Pamela Anderson. I mean, I know you guys don't care about this. I won't say this. I'm just gonna go into Anna Winetour because she's British, and I heard that she walked past she when she comes in contact with with people on her staff, like like designers and, and models, she ignores them and she bullies them around. She intimidates them and bullies them around, and she doesn't like small talk. So yeah, I mean, I think she's a witch, and I think she's like very very ice cold. I mean, I'm not gonna say like all British people are rude. Like it's like this. Well, one Brit told me that you got some dickheads and twats and wankers, wherever they say that. But yeah, like idiots and rude people. But yeah, that say that they're there too, but they're there in the country. But it's a mixed bag. You have good and bad. And I heard this thing that, oh, the French people are rude. The French people are rude. That's BS. I mean, yeah, it's the fact that foreigners, outsiders say that the French are rude because they're rude because they don't give eye contact. They don't walk up and just talk to people like people in Britain do. You know, they're not rude people. I mean, yeah, they're gonna judge you if you don't have some. Some of them gonna judge you if you don't have any manners or anything. They're judgmental, but yeah. And I heard my dad told me that French people are sneaky and rude and they'll stab you in the back. What are you talking about? Like people here in America, like I got stabbed in the back by people here in the States, like Texas specifically. I mean, I got stabbed in the back in the past so much, like I just lost count. Yeah, like you know, my dad just have a narrow, out of touch mindset of the world. He's saying that countries outside of America are bad. They have problems. They pay higher taxes, and here in America, even though we're held down, this is one of the best countries in the world, which is just pure propaganda. Which is pure propaganda. So yeah, yeah. I just saw a possum walking by. He just went into the woods, um, behind a building at a park. Yeah. So that's all I gotta say in this video about the UK and France. Um, yeah, again, I don't want to just do videos about America and all the time, and Canada and Texas and North America in general. Yeah, I just want to talk about like other stuff and talk about like people in other countries, like in Europe, Asia, Africa, or Australia or New Zealand. I have a friend who told me about how the United Kingdom is. I'm not gonna say his name. He told me that in Britain people bully each other around. They bully each other, and the crime rate is through the roof. It's so bad. Stabbings and pickpocketing. Yeah, my friend was very obsessed with the UK bullying. Have people who bully other people around, and And I think Anna Whitetower, the editor in chief of Vogue magazine, is like this. So yeah, and people told me the United Kingdom sucks. Say that the quality of living is shit. So yeah, and again, also in France, I heard nothing about France at all from the French people. So looks to me they're not gonna say anything. So you know what? Yeah, they don't. The French are not. They don't talk about things openly. They just keep things to themselves. You know. But I know it's one thing. Comparing the French with the Americans. The American government, or the American police or the government here in America won't say a thing. But I saw this French person on the same thing that happened, like something bad happened, like a French person talked about what was going on. So yeah, it looks to me that Britain and France are mixed bags, and they are. Okay, I didn't mention this. We'll talk about this. Um, since I have some viewers from other countries view my videos, and I think I got some Americans into this. I'm gonna just say this to the Americans. We all know that racism exists in America. And racism exists in both the United Kingdom and France. I think in both of these countries, racism is not tolerated, and they're very hard on it. They'll crack down on racist people in these countries. But there's some racist people exist. I have a subscriber from the UK who told me about a person who I used to sub to here on YouTube. His name is Scotty3861. He's a guy from he's British, and I used to subscribe to him because he talked about MGTOW, video games, the decades, which is the 2010s, which sucked, movies, music. I think he just talked about music, not movies, but yeah, and I subscribed to him because of those things, and I told one of my subscribers that I subbed to Scotty3861, and this person said this to me: you better stay away from Scotty3861. He's racist. And I said, well, I watched some of his videos, and like, he didn't say anything racist. And one of my subscribers told me this: you can, I'm just saying he's racist, and you can subscribe to him if you want to or not. That's up to you. So I said, well, if he's racist, then I'm going to unsubscribe to him. I'm not going to have anything to do with him. I'm not going to have anything to do with anybody who's racist. And I think there's another person from Britain or the UK, Great Britain, who I sub to on YouTube. His name is Truth Seeker 666. He looks like he's a guy in his 40s. What made me want to subscribe to him, because he talked about how good the NHS was, and he bashed how shitty the healthcare here in the US is, and he told the truth, like, about it. Like, he talked about the politicians are a bunch of fucking scumbags, and said that all the politicians are lying to all the Americans about how bad universal health care is and how good the health care that they have here in the States. And he said this: your politicians and government are lying to you. They are fucking lying to you. And he went on to talk about how the NHS is, how cheap it is, cheaper per month for medication, and you pay that much in taxes. You pay a little bit of extra tax. I think that's what he said. I don't know if the NHS changed on this or not. I just read about someone telling me how the NHS is different now. So about Truth Seeker 666, I noticed that he bashed disabled people and made fun of them. He complains about a lot of stuff, like little things that no one cares about. I don't know. I should unsubscribe to this guy or not, because he was bashing disabled people in the video. So I don't know. Like, he's very educational. He talk about educational things, and I comment on some of his videos. I watched some of his videos on his channel, and some of them were kind of funny, entertaining. He likes like he's into like crop circles and conspiracy theory things, I don't know, should I unsubscribe to this guy or not, because he talked about he was bashing disabled people who were like reading things for the BBC. So I don't know. So I'm gonna check out his videos and just make my decision. Should I drop this guy for my subscription list or not? So yeah. Okay, women in both countries. I heard stories in the UK that the women are more mature and they're down to earth and they're easy to talk to and they're easy to connect. That's what I heard, and also I heard that the women, well, that's the women in the United Kingdom, and also I heard that British women are similar to American women. And over in France, I don't know anything about the French women. I ran into one. She was very nice. She was very sweet, and she was, the woman who was giving out bus passes to people. I just came off a cruise ship and bought a bus pass to get on the bus and ride around in this city in northwestern France called Le Havre. I looked on Google Maps, I saw some of the women, the younger women, the younger women are kind of cute. This is in France. Also, I didn't mention this. I remember I was on a cruise ship, and two British girls wanted me to get on the elevator, or the lift, as the Brits call it. They want me to get on the lift. They want me to get on the lift with them and ride with them on the lift to one of the top decks, where my cabin and room was, and I turned it down. Yeah. So I'm gonna say is I'm assume that women in both the UK and France are I'm gonna say they're probably way better than the women here in America or North America. Yeah, just want to say that. Yeah, and also, I want to say that the quality of life, I say like, in both countries, healthcare, education, programs, everything for average, normal, poor people, or are I say are better compared to here in America. I'm not gonna say these two countries are perfect. They have their problems, but they don't have the problems that America has. And I'm gonna say this, going to the UK, ran into some Brits online. Some say that their country, the standard of living is shit. It's bad, and it's not that great. And they complain how it is. And people like Truth Seeker 666 and Scotty 3861, they complain uh they complain about how bad their country is. And I know it's like, the Brits in the UK that complain about how bad their country is, I think they're just these conservative ones, because I don't hear the people who are not like them are complaining about how bad the country is. Like, some tell me like, oh, go to Scotland, you'll be blown away, you'll be amazed at what you see there, and say a lot of good things about the UK. So yeah, it's basically, if I go to these two countries, there's some things I'm going to like. There's some things I'm not going to like. I've been to both of these countries. I haven't been to both. I haven't been in these two countries for very long. You know, been in these two countries and they seem to be all right. You know, so yeah, so yeah. That's all I gotta say in this video. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.